What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we're going to talk about how and why South Africans owe Nigerians an apology. Not just an ordinary apology, but a public apology. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know hate speech is always welcome. Hello. People, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd ever make a video like this, right? Now, why am I saying this? Judging from the title, right, you will see that it's an extreme title, right? For most South Africans to even fathom such a title or having to engage in such an action, right? Now, why the topic? Why that specific topic? For months on end, right? South Africans and Nigerians have been going at it over Twitter, over YouTube, over everything, right? Everything with Nigerians versus South Africa is worldwide news. It becomes trending news. South Africa versus Nigeria, whether it's music, whether it's sport, whether it's fashion, whether it's cooking, whether it's just cultural, the whole essay drama, everything with Nigeria just seems to be something that we need to bump and clash heads about, right? Throughout that whole argument, Nigerians kept on bringing something that would obviously veer off topic, but would actually hit home in many ways, right? So if you, okay, let's go back to the whole Miss South Africa saga, right? You'll realize that the Nigerians just didn't keep it at the Miss South Africa drama itself, right? They would actually veer off and then talk about the land, talk about the whites, talk about how we are still slaves to the white masters, and they'd keep bringing that up all the time, right? And as South Africans, we kept defending our white fellow citizens, right? Because we feel, as colored and black South Africans, that we are all South Africans. We are one. We are one people. Even though the South African white people are not African, but they are, they're part of our country and our culture, right? So each time the Nigerians mention, that's why the white people own the land. That's why the white people treat people like slaves. That's why you people this. And we kept defending our white people, right? It's like, nah, because we are brothers. We're still this. The past is the past. Let's move forward. We're moving forward. You guys don't have enough white people to call your own, and that's why you people are just, well, basically that. You know what I mean? You don't have a multi-diverse cultural country, just predominantly black. So you guys don't understand how to coexist with other races and stuff, right? That's how we were hitting back, right? And then fast forward to recent events. Now, this is why I'm saying it's ironic, right? Because throughout the years, we've always lived in South Africa with these racial undertones, right? Sometimes they actually bubble to the surface, rear their ugly heads, but most of the time it's always subtle undercurrents, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in shopping malls, whether it's in public spaces, whether it's at rallies, whether it's at protests, and what. Somewhere, somehow, undertones of racial discrimination are always there. It's an everyday occurrence, especially in Cape Town. I mean, the Free State. I mean, it's even in Joburg, in Gauteng. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? Like this love-hate relationship we have with the white people. They don't understand us. We don't understand them. We have a mental imprint of how they are, even though they're not like that, and they say they're not like that. They prove they're not like that. They have a mental imprint of how we are, even though we are not like that, and we prove that we're not like that. And somehow each people, well, people from both sides give reason for the others to believe in the stereotype just because of a handful of negative people within the societies, the different communities that we reside in, right? So, for example, right, white people are racist. Now we're going to say all white people are racist. No. All colors are gangsters. Are we going to say all colors are gangsters? No. All black people are thieves and criminals. Are we not going to say all black people are criminals? All Indians are racist. Are we now going to say all Indians are racist? No. Okay. So now that we've established that part, right? Now we get to the crux of the matter. So, how do white people in South Africa really feel about black, colored, and Indian South Africans? Right? To a degree, to a degree, especially if you okay, I'm going to talk predominantly about Cape Town because this is where I am and this is what I see, right? So I'm not going to talk about the white people in Durban because I've never been there. I don't know. I've never heard Durban have racial tensions. The only time I've heard or seen of which people was claiming to be racial tensions was when during the Zuma riots, when the Indians were defending their properties and they had these guns, and then black people were saying that they were just targeting black people, and it seemed to be that it was mainly black people doing the looting. But I have to confess and say that I actually did see, well, obviously the guy was covering his face, but when he spoke, you could tell that was an Indian bra, an Indian guy that was actually part of the looting. You know what I mean? So it's clear to say that yes, it may have been predominantly black people doing the looting, but also Indian people were involved in that too. It may have been a handful, it may have been a lot, but people's faces were covered. But I only just remember that one, bruh, because he spoke on camera, even though his face was covered, but you could hear his accent that he said, no, he was stealing babies. It was baby's formula, I think. Baby's formula that he took. That's what I clearly remember. It was baby's formula. Someone can quote me on that. I mean, if you also watch the video, if someone can remember, you know, please comment in the section below. So, what do white people really think about black, colored, and Indian people in South Africa? Okay, this is my assumption, and this is my um, analysis from what I see on a daily basis, right? Guys, the number of good white South Africans, right, is very high. I'm not going to lie. But in Cape Town, there's very few. You come across very few white South Africans. I promise you. Then for you to go to see, for you to really see white South Africans, I think you have to go to areas like Durbanville, maybe Stellenbosch. But in Cape Town, Central, and Sea Point, Greenpoint, Camps Bay, I promise you, bro, it's 99.9%. It's foreign white people. Foreign white people. It's not white South Africans. 99.99% of the time. It's foreign white people. That gives rise to the digital nomad crisis that's happening in Cape Town that everybody knows and talks about. If you live in Cape Town, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because they are pushing up the prices of accommodation, and that's really become a whole nother topic for another day. So, white people in South Africa, being in Cape Town, that you hardly meet a white South African, right? That you bump into them every now, not, you know, you're more likely to bump into a foreign white than a local white. You have to be now in specific areas where the outlying areas, basically, right? And when you do, it's generally a good interaction, right? Just because someone greets you hello, hello, that does not necessarily mean that they like blacks or they like colors. And just because a black person greets a white person doesn't mean that they like white people either. You understand what I mean? So, like I said, there's always that brewing underlying racial tension. So, in most cases, to be very honest, right? I want to be very honest. In most cases, 99.9% of the time, if not even 100% of the time, right? All the um, racial tensions are always 100%, if not 99% of the time, always aggregated by the white people. Now, if you really want to see this, right? There's these neighborhood patrol watches or private security, and they're mainly these Afrikaans guys, right? Oh my goodness. You must see the way they treat black, colored people that are of a lower class, right? Depending on how you dress, right? People, I'm not going to lie to you, right? Because I too was a victim of this, right? Now, check this out. Here's a funny thing. I'm working, right? At this landscaping company, right? The pickup truck, or a bakkie, as we like to call it here in South Africa, right? So, this pickup truck, branded with the company logo, landscaping, everything's on it, right? Here comes this private security that's riding around Sea Point, that's monitoring the area. Now, they see me, they see the vehicle, right? And they see my Xhosa colleagues, right? Xhosa, for those who don't know, Xhosa is a tribe in South Africa, right? So I don't just want to say black because I really don't want us to go the American route and just describe people by their color. They, you know what I mean? I think that's totally wrong. You know what I mean? So what I actually want to do is I want to be specific now, intentionally so, right? I want to start going back to the way our ancestors used to address each other by tribe names, right? And that's what I want to do, right? So, so I'm standing outside. I'm busy loading. I'm loading the bags, right, into this pickup truck, right, into the bucket. And my closer colleagues are in this complex, and they're busy, in the complex, right, and doing what they were doing, right. So up comes this private security van, right. Now, obviously, I can hear by the accent that they're Afrikaners, right, and they're dressed in this private security uniform. Now, that older gentleman, he's driving, and the younger guy, he's in the passenger, right? Now, I mean, they can see that I'm also in this uniform, and they can clearly see, right? Okay, but listen to this. They drive up to me. The older gentleman says, "Hello, sir. How are you doing? What are you doing here?" And I'm stunned. I'm thinking, what am I doing here? Yeah. So for a second, or for a good 5 seconds, I was trying to process. I was trying to process that question because I'm thinking to myself, I'm in a uniform, clearly labeled with a van or with a pickup truck with the branding, company logo, everything on it. And you're going to ask me, and you can see that I've got bags, and we're clearing this complex out. We're cleaning out the complex. You can see clearly I've got bags. But you're asking me what I'm doing here. So I was still taking like a 5 second, like to try and process that answer because I wasn't prepared for such, right? I was like, what you doing here, So like, wow, because I was just thinking, well, it's self-explanatory, right? Because you can clearly see. I mean, you don't ask a McDonald's staff member in a staff uniform and they in McDonald's and like, hey, excuse me, what you doing here? That's like ridiculous. You don't go into a shop and a sales assistant with a badge clearly written, and then you ask them what you're doing here, right? So while I'm busy taking that 5 seconds to process this, right? The younger guy gets out of the pickup truck, comes right around, almost like he's a police sort of a guy, right? Almost come close up to me, like in his face. No, what you doing here? Then it dawned on me that wow, the same attitude that the apartheid police people had towards black people is now the same attitude that these private security have towards black and colored people, right? Now, listen to this. Oh, I'm saying black and Xhosa, Zulu, Tswana, Venda people, not black. Yeah, I must get used to. I must get used to this. I must get used to this, right? So it dawned on me that here we were busy defending our white people on Twitter, on X, on YouTube against the Nigerians, and the Nigerians kept saying, "You guys are slaves. You guys are treated like slaves. You guys are treated like this." And it just dawned on me that all along these Nigerian people were right. That not only are the Nigerians here and they actually get to see it themselves firsthand, and then they obviously report it to their families and friends back home, and then they too also know. So when they're attacking us in the comments, we can fight about anything. They will always refer to two things: the land, the economy, and the white colonial masters. Now, this is the beef I have with white Afrikaner people who have that old racist mentality in them. Okay, so like I'm saying, again, not all Afrikaner people are racist. Some have even come out calling out their fellow Afrikaner people, telling them to change their ways. Times have changed. Times have moved on. It's time to move on. Let the hate rest. But you get like Mandela said, right? No one is born a racist. You are taught to be a racist, right? Okay, park that on the side. So this gentleman comes in my face. What are you doing over here? So I look at him and I say, because now he took me back, because now he came with that whole party, right? So I've decided I'm going to play into this narrative, right? So I said, sorry, boss. Boss, I am busy packing the thing. But my big boss is over here. Then I call my white supervisor. So the supervisor comes and he asks, what's up? Goes, no, sir, we're just asking him what's going on. And then I asked the younger guy. I said to him, boss, meaning boss in Afrikaans, right? I was like, sorry, boss, do you not see that it is written boldly, branded on the car? You don't see me asking you about your security job, what you're doing into the uniform, but I don't have to ask what you're doing, right? So I said to him, do you not see the branding on the vehicle? Do you not see the uniform? Do you not see what the people are doing? Yeah. So why? Then he said to me, I'm just doing my job. However accent he speaks, right? I'm just doing my job. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking this younger person could have been, I don't know, maybe 20, 23, 24, 25, right? But you could see the aggression that he came with, that it was almost like racially motivated, because if I was white and I was there, I don't think they would have stopped even. They'd have just assumed that we lived there, or that we're just working, or we're just doing something there. But it would not have been the way it was, right? Maybe I'm imagining things, but to be honest, I've seen white private security people stopping domestic workers, gardeners, going to their gardening jobs in these private homes and on their way from, and they're getting stopped. What are you doing here? This and that and that. Some of the guys are like, dude, I worked here for 5 years. And you see me now, all of a sudden, I don't know if you're with your colleague or you're trying to show off, but now you say, like, what you doing here? So, like I said, people, I'm not going to lie. The Nigerians were right all along. Now, this goes out to all my fellow South Africans who've ever experienced racism, who've ever experienced an injustice by a white person, regardless of them being Afrikaner or not, right? I would like to say, people, when other tribes from other countries, when they point out an obvious thing that we deny, that we defend, that we deflect, the problem is with us. The problem is that we try to sweep things under the carpet, and it's not meant to be like that. And to be very honest with you guys, I'm not going to lie. The land issue is going to explode. I promise you that. It is always the land. Like I always say, do you see what's happening in Palestine? There's no country called Israel. It's Palestine. Do you see what's happening to the Palestinians? Yeah. If the government of the day does not address the land issue now in South Africa, now as in 2025, by 2030, I promise you guys, people are not going to wait any longer because more and more calls are getting louder and louder and louder. And by the time there's no more loudness to reach, catastrophe is going to happen. Blood's going to be shed. And guess what? Places like Orania are going to be vaporized. You see what I'm saying? So, here's the first public apology to Nigerians. Oh my goodness. Brothers and sisters of Nigeria, I would like to apologize on behalf of all South Africans that engaged with you in this whole Twitter war, YouTube war, over this whole Miss South Africa drama, music drama, whatever drama, because we blindly believed that our white people were our brothers and sisters and that they had our backs. And then came the AfriForum drama, which exposed our white brothers and sisters who we thought we were brothers and sisters. Unfortunately, those racist ones proved once again that they are not a part of us and they do not want to be a part of us. They are willing to throw us under the bus so that they can get the other white supremacist people from around the world, from America, from Israel, from Australia, from wherever the hell they're from. So, public apology to all the Nigerians. You were right all along. These people, the racist white people who think they are masters, who believe that they own South Africa, who believe that they are better than all the Xhosa, colored, Indian, Zulu, Sotho, Venda, Nigerian, Hausa, Yoruba, Fulani, I don't know, what, Shona, Bemba, Shangani, Nyanja, Kenyan, what was Harambe, Maasai, who think they are better than all those other tribes. I would like to publicly apologize and say, when it comes to saying you guys are being treated like slaves by your white colonial masters, you were totally right on that. You were totally correct, because that AfriForum drama came and exposed how these racist people really feel. And you were right. And I have to say, we were wrong for defending them. We were wrong for believing that they were our brothers and sisters. And you were right all along to say, no, they're not. So there we go. People, Nigerians, you were right. When you're right, I have to give it to you. We were wrong. I have to take it on the chin like a man. So yeah, that is my public apology from us to you guys. You won on that one. You were right all along. Yeah, man. Sad but true. I have to admit, give credit where it's due. Next, we get into the pros of our apology to our Nigerian brothers and sisters. Holla. People, the pros of public apologies to our Nigerian brothers and sisters, right? And examples of this is much that you give credit where credit is due, right? So when someone calls you out for a wrong that you've done, or for a lie, or whatever it is that you are perpetuating or you are participating in, right? And they call you out on it and you keep denying it, right? And they keep telling you that this is wrong, that is wrong, and you keep denying it. That thing comes to bite you someday or one day, right? Because you are in denial. You understand what I mean? I totally understand. When it comes to the Springboks, when it comes to national pride, South Africans, we are united. And I truly believe that we have our own internal problems, as do all other countries, right? We cannot all be united on everything. And I totally get it, right? But when a certain group decides to enlist the help of outsiders to come and resolve an internal issue that is only going to solve a problem that serves the interest of that particular group and not the entire nation. Now we have a problem. Now we cannot deny, right? Because now we've been exposed by what the people have been talking about all along. So now a public apology is an admission of guilt, an admission of wrongdoing, an admission of oversight to say, you guys were right, we were wrong, let's move on, right? We now have to now realign ourselves and realize that as much as we want to be brothers and sisters with these people don't want to be brothers and sisters with us because they don't see us on the same level, right? So, if push had to come to shove and you had to choose between a white South African and a Nigerian, who would you rather align yourself with? Think about that. And please give me your answers in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what most of you think about that, right? Next, let's get into the cons of giving public apologies. I don't think there's any cons, but hey, who knows? We'll see what happens. Holler! The cons of a public apology to the Nigerians. Number one, I don't think there's any con in apologizing because I don't think there's any shame or any harm in acknowledging your faults, your shortcomings. Number two, I don't see a con in admitting to something that you couldn't foresee, right? And number three, I don't see a con for being exposed for something that you knew all along, but you denied that that thing existed until an event like Afriforum had to happen for you to realize that you are not one as you were thinking with those people. So yes, people, there are cons to certain things, but there are no cons to publicly apologizing to the people that actually point you in the direction to which you're supposed to be going, because you are moving in denial and you're moving in denial in a different direction, hoping for a different outcome, only to find the exact same result that you were running away from in the other direction. So, in closing, I know we have our fights with our continental brothers and sisters. I know we have our fights with our local brothers and sisters. But at no point in our fights with anybody should we deny the underlying problems that forsake our communities, our societies, and our countries. So, in future, the next time we embroil into Twitter wars, in YouTube wars, in online battles. Let's be mindful and let's acknowledge the truths and not deny what everyone already knows. Because denial is the first stage of insanity. That's what I believe. Let me know what you guys think about this topic in the comment section below. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know hate comments are always welcome, right? Holla.